Hey guys, I'm just doing a live stream right now, so hopefully some of you guys will join. I'm just going on Facebook and share. I've been in school for a bit, so I'll talk more about what that's been like. Okay. Uh, okay, so I'm just gonna. Where's the stream to share? There should be something in here. I've been fine. Uh, I'm just kind of tired because I had a lot of classes and stuff going on today. I don't know how to work this new system. Oh, here we go. Share. All right, I should. Just Twitter. Sorry, this is boring. I'm just looking over some of the Twitter notifications. I should check my Ask FM. Okay. I should be all done with social media. Sorry if I'm being boring. The stream is really going to start in just a minute here. I am just making sure that everything is shared on my platform. Okay, yeah, I have 17. Oh my god. I just got the Ask FM and it's just pure trolling, probably. Look, I kind of don't want to do an Ask FM anymore because I get questions that are either from people who are trying to troll me or from people who like they're talking the wrong person. Um, so do any of you have uh, suggestions for movies I should review coming up? I'm actually gonna have a lot of free time because uh, I might stream again tomorrow because I get a lot of time now. So that's cool. I don't know if I can see. Let me go check the chat. Make sure that I'm seeing everything in the chat. Uh, yeah, that's everything in the chat. So. Okay, so if you guys aren't uh, gonna comment, oh, my boyfriend wants to see the Meg. What's your opinion on that? Oh, I actually have not seen the Meg. It looks kind of dumb to me, but I mean, it might be like it's just a fun adventure movie, um, or whatever genre you would put in that. I guess not really adventure, monster movie maybe. Um, so I mean, you guys can put the topics you want to chat. Sorry, the put the topics that you want in the chat, and maybe I'll talk about those. Um, but I do have some stories about SJW professors, and I know that I'm trying to stay away from identity politics, but maybe I'll let myself slide on my live streams because there's no other space for me to rant about this. You know, like the people around me wouldn't understand because they just think it's all education. So I went into a film class on Monday, which I've now dropped. I went into film class on Monday and got a 1.5 hour lecture about how Black people aren't correctly presented in film and how this is an urgent issue. And he's like, I'm shocked that you're not shocked by this. It's and like he kept using like Black Panther as examples for films. So yeah, I dropped that class because I'm like, okay, I want to actually learn. Um, and then my other class, well, I have other classes, but the other class with kind of SJW content in it said like that cultural relativism is the way to see things through, and that like you can't. That class sounds like a cult. It felt like a cult, and like there's students, affirming him. Uh, and it's like it's a film class, dude. I want to learn about film, but this other class, my developmental psychology class, so the textbook, said cultural relativism. That's the way to go. You have to accept that it's their culture, and um, it had also talked about everybody's identities and how they're social constructs, which makes sense for stuff like um, even something like race. I would argue because you can't really scientifically define race or objectively define race. It is more of like how you see people and categorize them based on their skin color. I mean, there are obviously races that society's agreed is a race, like Black people have agreed that's a race, but like even when you get into mixed race, I can understand how that differs. So I can understand something like race being a social construct, not gender, not biological sex. not economic status, and not disability, because that was or health status, like, if you have a condition or not. Like, that was what my professor was arguing are all social constructs. But she actually seems like a really nice person, and she wasn't lecturing about that the whole time. She was just bringing it up. And then I actually had to complete an assignment on what I feel about all my identities. And I just said, like, I don't care about most of them. Like, some of them are relevant to me, but the others, like, they're not parts of who I am. But it seems like she has like a little bit of an SJW bent, but one that I can tolerate. The film guy, who, by the way, also teaches gender studies, which makes sense, he was too much. Like, I don't have a problem with schools having gender studies, actually, because, like, if you want to study that stuff, that's fine, because that's what you want, but just don't push it in other classes. But that was my SJW rant for the day. I'll move on to other things. I don't want to get too mad about it. So, one of my classes I'm doing is actually service learning, like community service, and I really wanted to do this because I want to get some volunteer work in while I'm deferring. So there's all this stuff, but all the groups are legit organizations, not SJWs. Like, they're all organizations with a legitimate cause. One of them is more religious, but I mean, that's fine if that's what they want to do. But I have a kind of decision to make. My decision is what organization I want to join. So there's working with kids, like low-income kids. There's working with kids with disabilities, specifically kids with autism mostly, but I think there's one that's just general disabilities. And then working with people with physical disabilities in an adapted conditioning class, like a athletics class, like PE, but specifically for people with physical disabilities. And then there's like doing environmental thing. And here's the part where I'm really torn on this, because I care a lot about helping the environment and, helping reduce climate change, but they are strict vegans. I don't know exactly how strict, but they're like, you gotta be vegan. And I'm like, okay, that sounds a little much. So I don't know if I'd 100% back that organization, because I mean, I have no problem with vegans at all. Just the people who do it and act like they're morally superior, I have a problem with. So yeah, but their internship there is actually paid, so I might make a little money doing that. And another one of the teaching low income kids internship is paid, but I'm not sure if that'd be my thing. Like, I guess I can work with kids okay. I'm just not good with working with people in general. I'm trying to get better at that. See, I was all in with environmental one until you said strict vegan. That's rough. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Like, that's the only thing that's preventing me from doing that. They also do artivism, which just sounds dumb to me, but that's the vegan thing is, yeah. Again, I have no problem with vegans, just, the ones who like do it for political reasons. And then, was there anything I was forgetting? Oh yeah, homeless shelters too. There's a couple of those. Oh yeah, and people with mental illness like addiction and suicide hotlines. I could never do suicide hotlines. I mean, as you know, the person helping, I it just no. I really can't do that. I appreciate the people who can, but I do not have that capability. I just know I couldn't adhere to veganism personally. I appreciate people who can do. Yeah, me too. Like it's a hard diet to follow. So if you manage to make that work for you, good on you. But yeah, those are the options. People with disabilities, and then just like more specific within that, homeless shelters. Any advice for getting parents and family on board with transitioning? Huh. That's that's hard. I don't know because my parents were very accepting, so I I didn't have a lot of issues with that. But I would say my advice would be to write down what's going on with you because I wrote a letter to my parents when I first came out, and um, it really worked in helping communicate what was going on with me versus if I had just told them. So I guess that's really the only advice I can give on coming out is write it down. You know, if you feel like you can't express, I can't go on a vegan diet due to the cost. Even on food stamps, I can't find much vegan food except for vegan Jewish. See, that's a valid reason too. It's expensive to be vegan. Like, there's a reason why a lot of vegans are like these rich or middle class people, you know, in California where there's a lot of shops like that. Um, Again, not deriding being a vegan, but it is just harder to be a vegan, especially with how the American diet is. But what I was saying was, in terms of advice coming out, the best thing I can say is write it down. Here, I can show you my Ask FM to give you an idea of what I of what kind of things I deal with. How do I share? Maybe it's not letting me share a screen in do any of you know how to work the new YouTube? Because they just changed to YouTube Studio soon, and I don't know if they let you project the screen. I can just read off my Ask FM questions. Okay, this is done pretty much all texting language. What your favorite weather season? Do you like rain? And then I got 2 crying smiley faces and something in Arabic. I keep getting Ask FMs in Arabic, and I used to make jokes about them, like I don't speak no. I was trying to do. I just did a terrible accent. Like I don't speak no Muslim. That's better. Uh, but I used to joke like pretending to be, you know, a stupid person or stupider than I already am. And this year is going away too fast. Frowny face is another one. That's a shout out. I don't get the points of the shout outs on SFM. Then somebody just says good morning and a bunch of emojis. Do you believe in palmistry? That's actually an interesting question. I don't, because from what I understand, palmistry is that thing where come here, I'm a kitty. Oh, there you go. No, you're not going on my lap. Jack's weird. But no, palmistry is that thing where they read your palm. So I don't really believe in that. Does this really ask questions from people nearby? I assume so. Why are you asking me that? What's there to do for fun around here? What was the last thing that you were trying hard to get but lost interest after getting it? Oh, here's a good one. Why do most people watch anime act elitist? uh, I swear there are bots asking these odd questions to Ask FM. Yeah, there must be, because are there really that many people asking these dumb questions? More Arabic, more Arabic. Somebody's linked to their Ask FM. Thoughts on those who have crush on you? Well, no one has a crush on me, so I don't have any thoughts on them. What are your three? Oh no, wait. This one's funnier. Just wondering, do pretty girls fart? Seriously, who asked these questions? What are your three favorite songs? I really don't know at this point, because I mean, I'm still a fan of Rage Against the Machine, just not as intensely as I used to be, because I tend to have very intense phases. So I still like their music. I also like Disturbed, and then I also like R&B, like older R&B. Because what's being put on the hip hop and R&B station, which I put in quotes, is trash. Like what's contemporary, at least in terms of hip hop and R&B, is trash. Chocolate chip pancakes, banana pancakes, or chocolate chip banana pancakes? Chocolate chip banana pancakes. Like, come on. Although I don't think I've ever had chocolate chip banana pancakes. They sound really good. Okay, that was all my new questions. I delete 75% of the questions because I mean, it must be bots asking them. They're just so stupid. Check, what are you doing? Yeah. So you can see the kitty. Check, look at the camera. But yeah, I don't have anything else to talk about, really. I mean, I could watch a video, but it's not letting me. It's not letting you see the video at the same time. So I don't know how to do that. And I don't really want to do response videos that much anymore because they're not good for mental health either. But does anybody have like anything they want me to read or talk about? Yeah, it's not letting me show anything to you guys. It's just just being live stream. So. Just let me know like any movies you want me to review, any questions you have, or any any feedback sort of. Maybe I'll just end this stream now. Would that be okay with you guys? Just ending it now. Opinions on the Quiet Place movie. See, I need to see movies like that because I haven't seen that movie and I wanted to see it when it was out in theaters. I heard from people that it was really good, although YMS talked about how terrible he thought it was. But I want to see that movie for myself, and One thing I am thinking about is, talk about mental illness in movies and kind of how that's represented. I mean, I'm not going to do it in a, oh, these people aren't getting represented. You need to put more of those people in your movies. Not like that. But yeah, talk about mental illness in movies would be interesting. I'll give you guys a few more minutes for any questions, but I might just end the stream now. And I will try and stream tomorrow. Do you know about the Mandela effect? Oh, do I? Yeah, the Mandela effect can actually really easily be scientifically explained. When we form memories and then go back to the memory, you're basically remembering a copy of that memory. It's like telephone, it gets changed um, every time. So people are very suggestible, and um, if somebody says something is a certain way, it's easily for people to be able to believe that if they're talking about a certain memory because they don't have as good of a memory of that. So when you say like, "Oh, I swear it was this in this movie," but um, but it turns out it was actually a different thing. That's because you incorrectly remembered that because thinking about it so many times. Um, yeah, it causes you to have a different impression. There was actually a really poignant example of this effect, and I forget her name, but this scientist conducted some research about this exact thing that doesn't explain the shared memories. Well, again, when somebody says that their memory was a certain way, it's easy for people to believe that because the memory is just so open to suggestion and so open to changing. Um, so it's not uncommon that people would equally misremember something, or one could be suggested into remembering it, misremembering it a certain way. But yeah, people claim that the Mandela effect is like, oh, we're in another universe. There's actually a much simpler way to explain it. So anyone wants to debate me on the Mandela effect? Tips on starting a YouTube channel, aside from getting a laptop. Um, I would say find a good subject that you want to discuss. I mean, if if you're vlogging or something like that, it might be different, but find a good subject that you want to discuss. Make sure that it's okay if the M sun not yellow anymore. It never was. This is in reference to the Mandela effect. I don't understand. Oh, are you talking about the sun behind me, or yeah, Mandela effect? Yeah, I don't know exactly what the question was. Like, yeah, it happens where you misremember something. It was actually something else, but of seeing the sun that way, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. But uh, with the tips on starting a YouTube channel, find a subject that you're passionate about and that you can talk about, and that doesn't have an effect on your mental health, like what I was doing before. Like something that doesn't make you overly upset or overly angry. I mean, you're obviously allowed to have a range of emotions about things and it be healthy, but if it's taking up too much of your time because you're so emotionally invested in it, and especially if that emotion is negative, then I would say don't don't talk about that topic, or at least don't make it the main focus of your channel. I know I break rules occasionally with ranting about SJWs, but I'm trying to generally stay away from that. But what I was planning to do is making those abridged series for my channel, so lots of lulls. I'm not quite familiar with what that is. You're gonna have to explain that to me. Like a bridge book series or a bridge movie series, maybe. I mean, that sounds like a good idea if that's what you're talking about. It's basically a funny redub of mostly cartoons. Oh, that might be fun. That sounds like fun. Yeah, if that's a topic that you find fun and that you can talk about, um, definitely do that. And also, if you're not good at public speaking or just even speaking in front of a camera, I mean, YouTube can help you with that. Like I've felt more confident, because I have my channel. Eh, but one thing that you have to be careful to do is not get too invested, because, like I said, it shouldn't be a subject that inherently produces a negative emotion, but there can be internet drama as a consequence of having a channel, and you know staying out of that is what I would recommend, because I would used to have arguments that went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and were very passionate with people online, and it just like it never ended, and it only ended when one of us tapped out. And yeah, I mean, that's that kind of stuff can legitimately be toxic. Well, it shouldn't be too controversial aside from copyright troubles, because you're redoing the voice lines. Yeah, you might get into um a bit trouble over that. YouTube loves to strike, especially small channels, on copyright stuff. Okay, I got a lot of stuff for playing. Uh, I got a lot of strikes for that. I don't have them anymore. But I got a lot of strikes for playing copyrighted songs. I got a bunch of weird strikes for hate or bullying, and on videos that had nothing to do with that. So you just kind of here's the thing. Oh, here's another tip when you're starting a channel, and I've yet to do this myself for my current videos, but if you want to keep your channel and you want to keep your videos, have some other site that you have them on. Like there used to be a couple that have now closed down. Were you able to appeal easily? Actually, no, no. Only one time did appealing stuff work, and that was when I was talking about Jude Carter or something, and that they flagged me for bullying and hate, even though which is funny because like YouTube doesn't know what hate speech is apparently, because like anything that might be associated with that at all is called hate speech. And it's like hate. I thought hate speech was like let's kill the Jews or something. I didn't know that hate speech was offering a critique on somebody's opinions. But yeah, so I got flagged a lot and wasn't able to appeal, especially demonetizations. Demonetizations you can't appeal unless it's something like 10,000 views in the past week, which only the top of YouTube gets. Most of the people just don't have channels that are that big. So if I got demonetized, um, I'd be demonetized. There's basically nothing I could do. And I did try to appeal every single one, and it didn't work. So yeah, that is frustrating. I was going to say something else. Oh yeah, I tried to demonetize. I mean, I tried to monetize because when I moved my videos onto my archive channel, they were all unlisted. But you can still monetize them even if they're unlisted. And so I was thinking, hey, it's been a while since my videos were demonetized. Let me try monetizing them again. And the vast majority of them, I couldn't do it at all. Like, it just automatically went to demonetization. Sorry, Jess coming in for another visit. You doing? Okay. I think that's my other cat. Is in the background. My other cat is yowling for attention. Thanks for the tips. This will come in handy. Well, thanks that I was able to help you with that. It's sad that YouTube gives these privileges to large YouTubers, but I can see how it'd be hard to review everyone's material. Yeah, there is bias in the uh, who gets strikes and who gets demonetized. It is usually the smaller channels. I think everybody got affected at one point with the whole adpocalypse, but definitely smaller channels were hit harder. I think they allow the large YouTubers, and especially if you're a YouTuber associated with a company, because that means money for them. Yeah, they and I, but I can't understand how it'd be hard to go through every single one. But I think the main problem is not um as well. I mean, the appeal process sucks, but I think the bigger problem is the videos getting demonetized in the first place for just a number of things. And I understand that they say that advertisers don't want to advertise on certain videos, but it's like even if it has that keyword, um, it will get demonetized. And people try. Look, I had to try at one point to go through my videos and get rid of the word tranny, get rid of any swear words. Uh, but um, yeah, so even if there's some keyword that's bad according to them, they will automatically demonetize it. And even changing the name and uh, retrying the appeal process usually doesn't work. So I think they need to narrow their scope of how many words or what subject matter they want to demonetize, because it's just it's everyone's videos now. I just need to check something. Just checking my school email. Hi, Matthew. Can't say because it's really late, but I wanted to say hi. Thank you. It's funny. I've been noticing the number of people watching, and it just keeps going. Like it goes up to 5. It was at 7 maximum, but now it's down to 4, down to 3, and it keeps fluctuating. So if you have any more questions, just put them in the chat. I do have to leave, I think, by 6, but has your school started classes yet? Yes, I was actually ranting about that earlier because there are some SJWs, but what can you do? It's California Community College. It's gonna happen. That's what I've because over the past few months, I've learned to become less mad at SJWs. Like, yes, I still think what they believe is stupid, but um, I just don't let myself get affected by it as much. But yes, I have started classes. I'm taking a developmental psychology class, a service learning class. So most of the hours for that are going to be done outside of it. And then I'm hoping to get in another psychology class, but um, I don't know if that's going to work out because I registered late. So I'm trying to think of something to talk to you. Yeah, it's been kind of hectic um, with my classes because I ended up dropping 2 of my classes because they were too easy for me. And then the other class was actually located on another campus. So I ended up not sure if you know or care, but I saw Ariel Scarcella, or however you spell her name, revealed she's bisexual. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know about her because I'm looking her up right now, seeing what video. I mean, again, like I don't want to get into the identity politics, and I know she's gone down that route on the. It's funny on her YouTube channel it still says she's a lesbian, but I mean, just interesting because like her whole identity, even though she didn't believe in the mainstream LGBT kind of identity politics, was about being lesbian. That's the thing. Like I try not to base my identity off of one characteristic. I know that a lot of my perspective in my channel before was from being trans, but I don't talk about that like at all in real life, you know. But she was just like, "Oh, I'm a lesbian. I'm making videos for lesbians," and then now she's now she's bisexual apparently. Let me see her Twitter. See, I want to see where she says it. She says she's living a lesbian experience. See, I hate that term, like lesbian experience or gay experience or trans experience. Which is what I've heard of it. Like people be like, "Excuse me, I'm not a trans man. I'm a trans man with I'm a man of trans experience." Like it's so dumb. Like I don't get why they think that these terms are better than the other terms, but whatever. Okay, she's saying she's gay. Yeah, yeah. I don't see anywhere where she's saying she's bisexual. Actually, she just keeps saying she's gay or she's lesbian. Maybe I'll check her YouTube channel because I just this is interesting to me. Um, oh yeah, she has a video called "I've Been Lying to You About My Sexual Orientation." See, a lot of her videos are super clickbaity. I've always hated her videos for that. I mean, she may make videos that are against what someone like Chase Ross would say, but she uses like the exact same format. It's in a video where she said it. It seems kind of fake. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised honestly, because the thing about her channel, like I said, it's always super clickbait. It's always super um yeah, like trying to get attention. And I mean, I sometimes do clickbait titles as jokes, like the one I did that was like, um, what was it? Oh yeah, the like the the biggest transgender in the world must see real, something like that. But yeah, she just unironically does tons of clickbait and clickbait thumbnails, clickbait titles. So I mean, I actually wouldn't be surprised if she and they're all the thing about like Chase Ross is that they're all about sex, even more about sex probably than Chase Ross does. So yeah, I've never really liked her videos. I've always found her kind of annoying. I mean, I'll defend her on some of her positions. Like people were calling her transphobic apparently, and from what I understand, she's not transphobic. So I mean, I'll defend her on that, but can't can't really say that much about her other videos other than I don't like them. So let me see. Actually, let me see what's going on with Chase Ross because I wonder how he's been doing. I'm not gonna make any more videos about him, but dysphoria and body positivity. Today, I talk about how it's possible to have dysphoria and body positivity at the same time. Want to help me out? See, this is. Can you see why I was making videos about these people? Am I finally diagnosed? He says, okay, this is something I want to talk about. Maybe I actually will make a response video to his mental health videos because Chase Ross like has this um issue with talking seeming really unstable, frankly, about his mental health, and I mean that's sad. That's really sad. And I was in a position where I was pretty unstable with my mental health until very recently. So I mean, I don't blame him for that, but he constantly makes videos about it. Um, and now he's making a video about, am I finally diagnosed? And the and apparently there's a story now. I can't confirm this is true, but Chase Ross apparently self-diagnosed with BPD, and that and then he kept trying to go to doctors, and the doctors told him no, he doesn't have BPD, but he kept doing it, and so now this, am I finally diagnosed? Like he's claiming that, like, dude, you've been getting mental health services and trying to deal with your mental health problems, I assume, because if he's not going to therapy or getting medication, then I mean, I assume that he's doing that. But he's saying, "Am I finally diagnosed?" Like he's never been diagnosed before, and that just sounds odd to me. That he would never have. Now I can totally understand getting conflicted diagnoses because that's what happened to me. Um, but in terms uh, of sorry, I'm blanking again. In terms of like he's finally being diagnosed with a definitive diagnosis, it's like that just sounds odd to me. But with the whole BPD thing, for people who don't know, BPD is a really highly stigmatized disorder. So I'm surprised that he would have. Yeah, exactly. What are the odds of someone having anxiety, BPD, OCD, depression, being non-binary, and being gay? 1,000,000.1%. Yet everyone claims they are all these things at the same time. Yeah, BPD for some reason is a really highly self-diagnosed disorder, at least from my personal experience of seeing people online. And look, it's not something that anyone would want to have, or that anybody would wish on other people. And it can really affect your relationships with other people. So I really don't understand why he would do that. Um, Yeah, and also about the whole thing about being non-binary and being gay. I think he claims to be queer. He claims to be technically non-binary, but also a trans man. Uh, and then all these mental health labels. Like it's it's mind-boggling to me. I mean, you guys know I have somebody in my family who personally does that, and I'm definitely gonna make a video about self-diagnoses because um, I do want to talk about that. I gotta go use the bathroom actually, so I'll be back. This is my other cat, and they're both in the room. Aw, come here. I spoke with Vinny O recently. He I asked his pronouns. He says either is fine. Since it's postponed his alien journey, he doesn't seem to be interested in moving his nipples and genitals anymore. Okay, yeah. For people who don't know who Vinny O is, he's the guy who claims to be a genderless alien. And I honestly think that he has body dysmorphic disorder. I know that's just my armchair diagnosis, but the fact that he constantly gets surgery and has had, I think, literally 100 or something surgeries, cosmetic surgeries. I mean, I'm glad that he's not going to go that far with his surgeries, because obviously that would have a big impact on him. But I mean, I do want to kind of say live and let live for that, but at the same time, I think he needs help, or needed help if he's not having those issues anymore. But the one thing you have to understand about the people who claim I'm going to become some other being, like there's somebody who wanted to be an elf and got all this surgery to look like an elf. I think those people have more than just like something to do with their identity. I think they have legitimate mental health problems. And don't get me wrong, I have no problem if you do cosmetic surgery or piercings or whatever, any kind of body modification. But if it's something that you keep doing again and again and again because you want to look a certain way, you're trying to achieve a certain aesthetic and you're not comfortable with how you look, I mean, short of gender dysphoria, which the only reason why we solve that with hormones and surgery is because that's the only treatment that's been proven to work. But body dysmorphia is not the same thing. It's usually over very slight details that people find that makes them look disfiguring, or with people, wanting to get surgery after surgery after surgery to achieve a certain look. And you can find all kinds of examples of this, taken to extreme. Like there's this white kid who tried to look Korean or something. But I mean, again, I think that's indicative of a problem that doesn't need to necessarily be solved by getting surgery. Sorry, my cat is running around. Come here, JJ. Come here. Sorry, there's a lot of cats in this live stream. But yeah, I was actually gonna do a video on Vimeo, back when I was making my other videos, but yeah, that's my basically opinion on the whole thing. That these people, the fact that they get surgery after surgery after surgery and not satisfied, indicates that maybe surgery isn't the best option for them. Because transgender people, when they get surgery, they're at least somewhat satisfied, even if there's been all kinds of complications or something like that. But surgery does not necessarily relieve body dysmorphia. And I think that was the problem with Ash Hardell too, because she clearly had body image issues, but it didn't sorry, I lost my train of thought. But look, I don't think her problem was a gender problem. I think her problem was a body dysmorphia problem. How did you decide on the name? True, Pete Burns looked unhappy despite all his surgery. I'm actually not familiar with Pete Burns. I'm gonna have to look that up. And then, how did you decide on the name Matthew? Well, it kind of came into my head, although I thought, like, it works for several reasons, because there's not many people we know in my family and immediate circles named Matthew, so it's not like I'm naming myself after somebody. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And also I was thinking, well, it's a common male name, so I can just be like that guy named Matthew. Because my whole transition has been basically, I just want to be normal. I'm gonna look at Pete Burns now, although it's hard with a cat. Oh, he was a singer-songwriter. Nightmares and Wax. Never heard of them. Oh, Dead or Alive. That makes more sense. Okay, so he was the front man of Dead or Alive, and he passed away a couple years ago. Oh, I actually have to go now, but oh, thank you, Faith Bartolo. I actually have to go now, but yeah. So Pete Burns was this front man who got all the surgery on his face and wasn't happy with it. So sorry, Faith. I have to go. All right, bye, guys. I'll be live streaming tomorrow.